Hey there, boys and girls, the YouTube world. Today, we're gonna drag a 1950 Chevrolet four-door sedan out of a barn. It's actually an old Gymnasium. It was not more than 50 yards from where I lived for about 10 years. Didn't know about it. It's been sitting since 1978. That's right, 47 years? Good grief, I'm getting old. Anyway, we're gonna move a few things. We're gonna take the air compressor in there, pump up some tires, get this thing drug out, see if we can't get it running for the first time in 47 years. In case you wanted to know what an old Gymnasium was like, this thing's got some awesome architecture. Oh yeah, and we got the 8.1 powered square body dually in the tilt bed trailer today. Here she is, tucked back in the corner. She's a deluxe model. It's got the visor, bumper guard, fog lights. Yeah, old mail delivery car. The beauty of short wheelbase Jeeps. He said the thing hasn't run in 2 years. Threw a battery in it, popped right off. Cute little sucker. Blue, fancy wheels on it. Ready? There we go. God, this 8.1 pulls like a champ. What do you think, Duff? Conveniently, DB's doing a little pressure washing. Hey, I got a job for you.
What's that?
You can do a little pressure washing. If Chin wouldn't have drove that through the mud puddle, you wouldn't have had to pressure wash those. You haven't taken your motorcycles home yet either.
I like that orange one.
Oh, it's a package deal. You gotta take them all. The no fat chicks included. Yeah, if you wanna go ahead and wash that, never mind the little brown bat that decided to expire right there. That's the first time we've had a bat on a car that we've known about. So.
You ever been bit by a bat?
No.
I have. It's awesome.
How did you get bit by a bat?
I just woke up and it was like on my eyebrow. Like first thing I saw.
Eyebrow? If you shave in between them, there's two. You got a lip brow going there too.
Oh yeah. How bad's the inside? Is it shovel worthy?
You know, I didn't even.
It's not even bad.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Very
Duff, what do you think?
You gotta check it out.
Yeah. The speedometer says, Speedo says 100, so that's hopeful. At best, optimistic. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know. He thought there was a turbo 350 transmission in the trunk. Duff, you want to open this door from the inside? That'd be great. Probably don't want to get this wet on the inside. It's real nice. Are the keys in it so we can get the trunk open? Of course not. Are the keys in the trunk?
Trunk locked? Yes.
Son of a biscuit. Well, there goes that. Looks like we're gonna need to tube a tire. That one wouldn't even hold air long enough to get her on the trailer. Oh yeah, that's it, Duff. Get in there real nice and deep like.
Get in there nice and deep like.
Is that the matching color door back there? And a hubcap? Duff will let us know. Oh, it's even got a Philco push button radio. What a deal. Don't break the door. Easy there, macho man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes.
How happy are you, Duff? So happy. Yeah, if you come across some keys, try to open the trunk.
Will do.
I'm gonna go ahead and relocate the bat before Duff tries to eat it. Oh, well, that's what happened. He got his poor wing caught in there. You didn't even scream like a girl. I'm disappointed. Oh, you've been bit by one. You ain't scared. Batman
To the Batmobile.
Not gonna do the Aussie. Take a little bite.
Alright, got the old deluxe on the lift. Let's take a look at the bottom side, and I'm going to pull a couple wheels off so we can put tubes in them so that the tires stay up so it stays out of the dirt so that we don't get the rockers rustier than they already are. Any bets if there's any floor pans left in this thing? These things are notorious because, I don't know, they got the flattest floors ever and the water just sits everywhere. It doesn't sit in a low spot because the whole thing is a low spot. So they're usually G-O-N gone. Look at this factory sway bar. That thing's a monstrosity. This is what always got me on these cars. You get your tie rod either way, and then they got this single steering link thinger that pivots here and pivots there, and the steering box grabs it over here. I don't know, this yoke. But there's a lot of points to get slop in there. And I don't know if they rebuild those or remake them or whatever. And then when you go ahead and put a V8 in there, you gotta make sure your oil pan don't get in this thing because it's all your steering and geometry. And yeah, these are good Mustang 2 swap option cars in my opinion. I can't say that I've ever really driven one of these. I had a 54, but I think that had a Mustang front underneath it. Because yeah, it had a Nova subframe because it had disc brakes. And they got these silly kingpin thingers. I don't know what they got going on. It's a kind of a weird upright spindle, but I think some guys would flip them left or right. And then another way to lower these things, how was it? You drop the spring pocket down here to get them lower. So it's a good way to lower them up front. They do have hydraulic brakes, 4 3/4 bolt patterns, so you got wheel options. They got this weird frame. It's a top hat. GM used it for years. But anyway, it's like a C channel with a lip out here, and then they put this bottom plate on there that's riveted on, so it makes it kind of hard to work with, but there's definitely options. Floor support's a little rotten there, but actually the floors are pretty much all there. They got these goofy leaf springs that are wrapped in sheet metal, and usually that holds moisture and they rust out. And also they got this goofy pivot on top of the spring, so when you go ahead and put a regular rear end in there, you got to set it back like this. Otherwise, if you put it right here in the center of the leaf spring where the bolt is at, it doesn't center up in the wheels. And you can't get them that low because they whack the frame. You got to C-notch these cars to get them nice and low. And the reason they got this goofy pivot back here is because they don't have a drive shaft. They got a torque tube. So if you want to put a V8 in it, you got to go ahead and put a different rear end in it. This is a 3-speed car, so it's got the terrible gear ratio. Power Glide cars had a better gear ratio. So a lot of guys will find Power Glide center sections and drive shafts and put in there behind 3 speeds so you can go down the road a little bit faster, your tip of the day. Because even the spare tire ain't rotted out, the gas tank ain't rotted out. This thing's pretty good under here, actually. Quarter's got a little rust right there. Quite a bit in front of the wheel. Never mind that, though. He said his uncle was a rural mail delivery guy and got a little sauced up one night and wrapped a pole around it or something, so he had to put this green door on it. Yeah, would you look at them floors? Pretty decent. Little hole there. Otherwise, not too shabby. Floor support's rotten, but overall, pretty dang decent. Even the interrockers are real respectable. Let's go ahead and get the Sawzall, get rid of that exhaust pipe or what's left of it. Master cylinder's under the floor, so that's a real treat to work on. Little baby 3-speed. Still got the inspection cover on it, road draft tube. Looks like the critters made some mess up in here. Had this tarp strap holding the hood shut, so Duff doesn't know how to run those because no thumbs, so I'm going to figure out how to get this open on my own. And the hood springs don't work, so we're going to put the old prop rod in there. Stay. There we go. Whew! Look at that 216 Babbitt pounder. Looks like somebody was going to steal the radiator. Hose clamps. Missing 1-barrel carburetors. Got an aftermarket add-on Fram oil filter. Generator still there. Voltage regulator still on the firewall. Oil bath air cleaner. Did pressure wash under here. Cleaned up pretty good. Looks like the mice got into our 6-volt wiring, however. That'll be a good excuse to convert it to 12 volts, right? Heck, nobody even stole the coil. The plug wires are all there and in order. Completely guessing. I'm sure that starter is just fine as well. Even the heater hoses ain't broken off. Let's grab that fan, see if it turns over. The belt does not want to catch. It's not looking good getting the turnover by the fan. Let's see if the carburetor's loose at least. Not looking good either. Usually if the carburetor's stuck up, there's a good chance the engine's going to be stuck. If the carburetor's loose, the engine might be loose. Well then, there's that inspection cover underneath. Let's go ahead and lift it back up, pull that off, see if we can get it turned over by the ring gear. Ah, the good old stove bolt 6 with flathead screws. Mouse house. Yummy.
Yummy.
Well, it doesn't look too bad in here, surprisingly. It's not all rusty on the teeth from the mice, and they're not all chipped up from a bad starter or ring gear. Clutch doesn't look too rusty. See if we can't get it to turn with the old Hefe bar. Oh, not looking good for the home team, kids. Oh. All right, let's try a big bar between the teeth and the bell housing. There we go. Oh, it went. I think it did. It did. Tell you what, let's set her down on the ground, pull the spark plugs out, throw some croy oil down the cylinders, and then come back down here and do this. I guess old Jiminy wanted to check the deluxe out.
My.
See if the timing's right. 1, 5, 3, 6, 2, 4. 15's too young, 36 is too old, 24 is just right. The nice part about these old brittle plug wires is they just kind of lay into place, so you don't need to mark where number 1 was at. The old Champion J12Y spark plugs look pretty decent. A little more corrosion on number 2. A little bit of rust on number 6, but otherwise they don't look too bad. Let's throw some croy oil in there and go back underneath, get her cranking over. See if we can't get a revolution out of this thing. Viva la revolution! Oh, we're gonna have to go back to the big bar. Maybe that dang old croy oil seized her up. Oh, she's gonna be slow going, one tooth at a time. Oh, now we're cooking with gas. Oh, just kidding. Uh-oh. Maybe that's why they parked it. He said it ran when parked. Uh-oh. Only goes about so far and then stops. Surely there can't be a valve stuck that it's hitting on a piston. Yep. There, it sticks. Oh, good grief. Turns really good until it don't. Ooh. Yummy.
Yummy.
Oh. Let's pull that valve cover off and take the rocker arms off, see what's happening up there. The nice part about this particular 216 is it's got 2 nuts holding the entire valve cover on instead of perimeter bolts, which are flathead screws on the later ones, so they went backwards on these. Never mind these vents that are built into the valve cover that don't keep debris from falling in there. Nice and oily under there, just the way you want to see it. It's got adjustable rocker shafts, so you just use a 5/8 wrench and a flathead screwdriver, and that's how you adjust your valve train. But if we take these bolts and studs out, we should be able to take this whole rocker assembly out, and that should free up all the valves. And if they're not free at that point, then we got issues. But yeah, nice and oily under here, and I don't see a bunch of sludge, so that's a good sign. Looking promising. Uh-oh. What's that piece off of? Sure feels like a chunk of busted cast. Not seeing anything missing from this half of the rocker assembly. Is that from an old repair? Or is it not cast? Is it rubber? Oh, it's pretty brittle. We just won't worry about that. None of these valves appear to be stuck, but let's spray them down with some croy oil and tap on them. We'll be able to listen to tell which ones are stuck and which ones are not. Free, free, free. Free, 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 free. Well, that's a good sign because all the valves seem to be free. It's a bad sign because I don't know why this engine is not turning over. Hey, something is missing. The battery cable that goes to the starter isn't on here. Somebody must have robbed that. That doesn't make me feel any better. Anyway, let's go underneath and keep wiggling her back and forth. See if we can't get something to break free. I was sure one of these valves was going to be stuck and was hitting the piston, but that would make sense going one way, but we should have been able to turn it almost all the way backwards before it would hit the other way. And we're not getting it to turn very far, so yeah. Great.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
Ooh. Don't sound good. And then right about here, she'll really free up. Not for very far though. Ooh. See what springs back? Where's that tension? Is the crankshaft twisting? Is it loading like a spring, like a torsional spring? I should probably watch the crank boy, see if that's turning up front. Please don't knock my teeth out. Oh my goodness. Let's put a mark on here. It only goes that far over that way. Now let's work it back this way. See, to me that sounds like sticky valves, but apparently it's a sticky piston. It's gotta be. Now it'll turn nice and free. Until it doesn't. Oh, it's actually spreading the bell housing because it's not tied together, so the bell housing is opening up. That's what's springing. That's no good for business. Oh, sure enough, we've cracked the bell housing right here already from springing open. Right on that screw hole, that's the weak point. The old bell housing's opening up right there. Whoopsies. That's what happens when you get, this isn't even Big Bob, this is just Mini Bob. Maybe if we try prying down instead of out. We got a lot of options. Oh, break that bell housing and have the whole motor drop on my head. That'd be great. Ooh. Oh, yeah, we split her wide open now. Got it real good. And the reason is because there's no strength between there and there. It's just this little tin plate on the backside. That's not good for business. Well, it's already busted, so let's go the other way with it and see if we can't bust this side too. Can't wait to see the comments down below. Well, if you just soaked it in ATF and acetone for 11 decades, you should have pulled it around behind the tow truck. Should have heated it up with the torch. So many great ideas out there. Oh, I forgot to mark how far it went that way. Whoops. Well, it didn't go very far because we're almost to our mark. There's the mark. Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
You feel it, baby?
Maybe we should get Big Bob out. Really break some stuff. Alright, now we're getting serious. Big Bob's coming out. Big Bob, the bell housing buster. She's stuck. Wonder what it's hitting. See, I don't get why they turn so far. I mean, I do. There's something in there, but so the pistons can go down, but the one of them can't go up. Let's get the old dipstick by the schlong and check for some catastrophic failure or literally anything. Well, that guy is all the way up, so that thing's got to be on its way back down. Of course, you can see that the piston has been moving, so that tells us that the crank is not busted from front to back if that front piston's moving. That piston's way down at the bottom. Number 2 is way down at the bottom, and I don't see anything wrong with that one. How about 3? I don't see anything concerning in there either. Nothing in 4. 5 looks great as well. Alright, how about 6? 6 has got some cobweb. They say cobwebs are stronger than steel, but I don't think cobwebs are going to keep us from turning this thing over. Alright then, I guess we got to pull cylinder head off. Not what I wanted to do to an old 216. Alrighty, let's pull cylinder head. Should be a good time. Haven't done one of these for a while. Well, another flexi hose doesn't survive the day at Mortske Repair. Did we get them all? I think so. I'm gonna take that water pump off there because it is awful tight to the radiator. Let's see if we can blow my spleen out of my rectum. Oh, we should probably unhook these oil lines, eh? I'll lay it off to the side, maybe? Looks like one's already busted off, so let's just cut the other one. It's not heavy.
That's why you asked me to come help.
Yep. I gave you the side with the handles.
I got it.
I haven't pulled one of these off in a while. I don't know that I've ever done a 216, but I've definitely done some 235s. Check out these combustion chambers or valve locations. That exhaust valves way up in there. Of course, none of them are stuck. Thanks for the assistance.
Do you need something else?
Nope.
Okay.
Is that an option?
That was a hand model or something.
Oh. Ask me about my wiener.
Ask me about my wiener.
Unfortunately, I don't see anything going on in the cylinders either. So, I don't know why this thing isn't turning over. Great. I'm not really sure what to do now. Just keep cranking on it underneath, see what happens. I mean, just finish breaking the bell housing. There's a little bit of debris in the bottom of number 5, just a bit in 6. Other than that, I don't know why this thing don't turn over. There's actually a lot of shininess going on in them cylinder walls. I don't see how that's hanging it up. As you can see, when you dump Croil in there, it just runs right past the ring. So if you think soaking cylinders makes these things loosen up, no, it just finds the path of least resistance and runs out of there. That being said, since there's crap in number 6, maybe that one's super tight. Or that's coolant from when we pull the cylinder head off. I bet that's what it is. Soaking cylinders doesn't work. It usually runs by the rings. That is all. Let's put a little heat in these cylinders before we go ahead and try to crank her over with the bar anymore. Woo, that'll wake you up. Oh, these pistons are 30 over. She's been into once before. I wonder what that was that popped. Interesting. Alright, here we go. Come on, baby. Oh, cheese and rice. Oh, it's budging, but barely. I think it looked better before. Oh. Oh. We heat it, we beat it, and still don't want to turn. I don't know. I don't know what's holding it up. Now it'll turn over?
No, it'll turn right on.
Yeah, okay.
We done just hooked another vehicle on him, and I pulled him around town with the heads off to get him freed up here, you know.
Yeah, if I can't turn it with a 3-foot bar,
Yeah, you ain't gonna turn it with the
Nah.
back wheels, no. But
you'll slide
That's-
the wheels, or?
that's after I had gotten it loose. Yeah.
Sure. There ain't a bolt or nothing on the front. Usually every time I pry on those, it just splits the keyway on the harmonic balancer. And then I rattled that. Like I said, shit, it moved. You know, it moved 1/4 inch, 5/16 up and down.
Yeah.
So I thought once it started turning, but yeah, there ain't nothing in there that's...
Figure, well, they're going down, you gotta have some coming up,
Right.
you know. So that's,
Well, I'm guessing these are coming up and those are going down.
these are coming up. And that's probably what this one here is, coming up, and they get rusty and caught. But you know, you think you moved it that far. No, you should be able to move it opposite direction.
Yeah, I can't get her, and I don't know if the heat swelled up that piston or... Just goes right back to where it was, don't it?
Yeah, let's go, Doug.
You want me to tear that ear right off? Cast iron don't flex very well. That's just it, we break that off, and then if we do get it loose, the starter ain't gonna...
Ain't gonna crank that. But the only thing I could think of, it has to be the piston and ring. You know?
The rings are stuck in the cylinder. I would agree. But I don't get why it... Let's see if there's a bunch of water in the engine oil, but I doubt there is. Well, there's water in there. Ooh, a little sludge. The magnetic screwdriver, Mojo Craft version, available at mortske.com, works good for cleaning that out. Did much water come out, other than that little bit right away?
That little bit, right away.
You're probably gonna have that just from...
Condensate.
Yeah, just from running. Wasn't a bunch of coolant in there, so that's good. Shin's gonna pry, I'm gonna go up top with the air hammer.
Not doing a whole lot, but it feels like I'm fighting you, or...
Well, I've hit on... They can't all be one to go up.
Okay.
And I've hit on all 6. Nothing, huh? No. Here.
Gas on.
Yeah, the air goes move. Yeah, keep doing that. All except the 2 that are all the way down move. Yeah, 4 out of the 6 will just barely wiggle. Yeah, all these pistons move up and down a couple 16ths. Except for the 2 that are all the way down. God, play some, I want to, Alexa, play, I want to break free. I want to break free. Oh, good. Is that a crack? Oh, no. We take it no for an answer. The big dog's coming out now. Well, there's one less tooth on the ring gear.
I didn't think that would take much.
Good grief.
We're just gonna wreck stuff.
All right, here we go. Dexmerk in the sunny side. Acetone. Take a good whiff. Woo! Woo! So I could see all 4 pistons move except for these 2 when Chin was prying and I was heating and beating up top here. So we'll see what happens. We gotta get those 2 loosened up. And I think what's happened is the crank is all the way down, and as it's trying to rotate up or down, it's just flexing the rods. So we'll leave that sit overnight or the weekend or whatever. And it'll just turn over amazingly, miraculously. Or it'll just run by the rings. Well, it sat overnight with ATF and acetone in the cylinders, and it's still there. There's probably mouse in the car. Duff's over there whining about it. So let's go ahead and see if this thing turns over so we can drive this car out of here and Duff can chase the mouse. Would you look at that? That nice acetone ATF combination just hanging out in the cylinders. I know, there's animals living in there. Bats? What? What? No, we gotta get the engine loose, and then we can chase the critters. Okay? It'll be fine, I promise. Alright, here goes nothing. Don't have much faith, so prove me wrong, Croyle and acetone guys. Nope. Ain't happening. I mean, it doesn't help that we got a busted up bell housing, but that thing ain't moving. And we gotta make a video every week, so I can't just leave these things sit for weeks or months or whatever on end. And if it did come loose, the rings are completely destroyed or stuck or rusty or whatever. It needs to come apart anyway. Take that ATF and acetone, guys. Yeah, she's stuck. Now what? Good grief, the oil pan bolts are flathead screws as well. Awesome. I wonder if we can just pull that oil pan off and then somehow pound up on the piston or pry on it. We'll see. What do we got to lose? Just more time. At least they got safety locking tabs so your steering coupler can't come off or bracket or whatever. Oh, there's a bolt from the top too? Cheese and rice. Can't get at it from the front side. I'm sure that one's got a locking tab on it too, so not only can we not get at it, we have to get a locking tab off there. Well, that's a big one. 3/4. How did they do this before the advent of ratcheting wrenches? And if I do get this out of there, then what? Oh, the geometry on this steering is something else. Whoever dreamed this up was definitely on something. There better not be a nut on the bottom side that's spinning. It's definitely not getting loose. Oh, with the French, I don't even see anything on the inside of the crossmember. I don't understand. Probably never will. Let's just keep spinning it aimlessly and see if anything happens. If all else fails, it won't be the first time we've used a torch on this car. What holds it in? Magic? Oh, now it's going. I just spin it long enough. Fine thread, I guess. There we go. Come on out of there, big fella. Hey! What an abortion that steering setup is. Good grief, GM. I mean, look at that. It's like they looked at an octopus and were like, how could we make that into steering? Oh, so much room for activities now. Let's take an oil pan off.
Look at all this floor space. So much aerobics in here. So many activities.
Alright, now's when this oil pan's supposed to fall on my head. Rubber hammer time. There we go. Now, does it just drop out of there, or does it make me want to hate my life even more? Come on, road draft tube, get out of my way. There it is. The old Dipper 6. The Babbitt beater, the Babbitt pounder. The old oil pickup screen's nice and clean. Everything's clean under here, but it's got these little dippers or splashers, and that's what throws oil around and greases these Babbitt bearings. And you can see this one is just past bottom dead center. That's number 5 that we're having a hang up on. Same one, number 2 up here. So I thought it'd be pointing straight down, but it's just past it. But if we can tap that piston up, maybe we'll get it freed up. Anyway, these are Babbitt bearings. They're not an insert bearing. They're poured into place, and it's obsolete. I don't want to say garbage. It's obsolete garbage, okay? That's what it is. Let's be honest here. So, yeah, I wish I had a second person to pry on the flywheel while I smack the bottom of the piston, but I don't. So, how are we going to do that? Maybe if we just set a jack underneath the crankshaft and set the car down. Yeah? There we go. Good idea. Probably not a good idea. You can see all the rails where those dippers would sit, and you can even see a little ATF down there that's gotten past the rings. Eventually, I think it all would have ran down there. So, yeah. There it is. Not a lot of goop and sludge and debris in there, so I guess that's good. Now the fun part, trying to figure out how to get this thing to turn over. Which is basically what we've been doing for the entirety of this video. Alright, so I got this stand on the crankshaft here, and it's just over center, so it should be pushing it up. Now I'm gonna try and, you know, hit it with an air hammer or pry on it or something to get it to turn. But the weight of the car is on the crankshaft, so the weight of the car should want to push that up. Well, the majority of the weight of the car anyway. We'll see what happens. Here we go, let's let her down. Yeah, she's on the crankshaft. Now with the coil on there and the weight of the car on the crankshaft, surely it's got to turn over, right?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Don't hold your breath. How can this not be a good idea? How can we die? Dumb ways to die. Time to do some sketchy stuff. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Well, the prying on the flywheel thing really isn't working, so what else can we do? I really don't want to wail on that piston and break that. Alright, back to our bar things. And you can about imagine how that's going. Come on! You suck! How? Well, this is a new one. I've never pushed on the counterbalance of a crankshaft before, or got it loose from the bottom. I've knocked pistons out from the bottom, but never tried getting one loose. Let's see if we can screw up the threads on the rod now. Come on, baby. How are you that stuck? Oh boy. Remember that time that YouTuber got squished under that car he was trying to get unstuck? He got it unstuck though. Oh, come on, baby. What is the deal? Whole weight of the car, plus a pretty nasty air hammer. That thing still ain't budging. Not to mention the ATF and acetone. Hey! Did it move? Something happened. Hey, the lift is tight on this side. What if I keep cranking her up? Is it gonna move? Come on, baby. Got water running onto the back of the block for some reason. Oh, it's because it's up in the air. Oh, the engine mount let loose. Ah, I hate this thing. That's what happened. My stand even kind of looks like it's got a bow to it. Snap-on junk. So yeah, I could feel something moving. I was like, oh, it turned. Nope. Just the engine mounts letting loose. So now I guess we got to chain the engine down and then continue doing what we're doing. Maybe? I don't know. This isn't good. Not good at all. All right, a punch right on the bottom of the rod. Let's see what happens. Holy cripes. Is there enough room to get the big dog in there? Yeah, that'll fit on the bottom of the piston. Now I just gotta find somewhere to put our stand. How is that not moving? This is not a toy. It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
How? We're defying the laws of physics. The weight of the car is on that counterbalance. And now we're going to smack it with the largest hammer known to man. Ah! What is your deal? Entire weight of the front of the car is on that stand, which is on piston number 2. And I had that hammer just blasting away on the rod on piston number 5, and it still does not move. The good news is we don't have to take the bolts out of the front engine mounts because the engine mounts have exited the chat. The bad news is this mother trucker is still stuck. We busted the engine mounts. If we break that bell housing anymore, that's where the other 2 mounts are at. So this whole engine will be just ready to come right out. Things are going great. All right, I went and did some other stuff this afternoon, including putting tubes in the rear tires. Let this thing sit all afternoon with the weight of it on that crankshaft, on that jack stand. Probably not good for that stand. Anyway, it hasn't budged. So now, old Tiffany showed up this afternoon and she said, just go ahead and unbolt the cap from that rod, and then we're gonna take that big old hammer and we're just gonna try to smash her up in there. The air hammer, that is, the jack hammer, whatever it is, chisel. So that's what we're gonna do. Hopefully we didn't bung up the threads too much on when we were wailing on it. We'll chase them if we got to. I think it's 3/8 fine thread, but anyway, let's see if we can't get that one piston loose. It's gotta be number 5. Maybe it's number 2, but it's gotta be number 5. Duff is just itching to get this thing running, aren't you, Duff? All right, let's do it. Well, I got the cap loose. Here goes nothing. No way! How can that be? This is preposterous. Absolutely preposterous.
It's definitely preposterous.
How can that thing be that stuck? This thing will move mountains. Ooh, that's insane. All right, plan L, cut the rod with a torch. All right, I am not an expert on Babbitt bearings or anything, but these things they're kind of neat, so let me show you. So this is your rod cap. It's got a hole in it. And I think that Babbitt bearing is poured in there, from my understanding, you know, like molten metal. And there's these strange gaps in there, and then obviously there's a gaping hole right there. Then you got your dipper. This is a splash oiling system, low oil pressure. This dipper scoops oil up and pushes it through that hole, which pushes it through there, and that's how you lubricate your bearings. So what I'm gonna do is torch the rod off right here and up here, and then we're gonna put this cap back on there so that we can maintain the what little oil pressure we have, and hopefully save all the other bearings if we get it to run. And it's gonna run on 5 because that piston is not moving. It is seasoned. Carpe the diem. Seize the day.
Carpe the diem. Seize the car.
So yeah, let's get the torch. A little rod delete action here. Hopefully there's somebody out there named Rod whose middle name is Delete. If not, somebody named their kid Rod with middle name Delete. How did Puddin manage to blow his hand off doing this? Whoa!
I should know.
Silliness, that's how. I don't know what all that smoke is, but it's gotta be healthy. Got him!
Got him!
All right, now let's bolt a rod cap back on there, and hopefully this thing turns over. It's got it, right? Let's test. Shut the front door.
Shut the front door.
What is your problem? I don't get it. I don't get it. Something else stuck? Is that other piston stuck? I hate my life right now. I hate it. I hate Babbitt 216s with a passion. Stupid thing. Well, let's put this rod cap back on. Just, you know, to feel better about ourselves. Just kidding, I don't even want to do that. 'Cause it's hot. Go on there. Just, yes. That's right, I called you hot. You think hot chocolate ever just wants to be called attractive chocolate? Speaking of silly names earlier, comment down below what your favorite name for somebody is. Let's pin the comment that's got it. I've got a business card that I found at an estate, and it was a mattress salesman, and his name was Dick Hammer. Imagine coming home from work, it's 1968 or so, and your wife just bought a new Sealy mattress from Dick Hammer. Ah, why? The only other one that's not moving is number 2. So, should we give that one the old air hammer? Let's do it. It's out. I don't know why I'm putting sunglasses on. Because I'm cool. Not Dick Hammer cool, but here we go! I'm gonna get deep in the sandwiches when this thing starts turning over. Or right now. I'm gonna play some Rob Zombie Du Hast after this. What is going on? Did it move? I feel like it moved. Definitely. It probably moved, right? Maybe? I don't know. This is downright insanity. Good grief. All right, 4-foot bar that I found on the side of the road. Oh, what the? Golly! Yep. I know we'll run on 5, but 4 might be a stretch. We don't want to pry against the old camshaft. God. All right, torch is out. Number 2, you're getting the axe as well. Even the torch isn't happy about this. If I gotta delete all 6, I'm gonna do it. For dump. Let's roll it over. Yay! Sandwich time. Take that, stuck 216. We just made the world's first 4-cylinder 216, lightweight racing rods and all. You know what you got to do with this? Get yourself a 235 with actual insert bearings and, you know, full oil pressure. I think they came out in 51 or 54. Anyway, get a 55 to 62 235 drop in here. I think you need to get a different water pump for clearance issues. You got to get a short water pump or something. I don't know if Patrick still exists, but those were the guys to go to back in the day. Anyway, you can just drop one of those in here and get yourself a couple of new engine mounts. Heck, get all 4, and get yourself a new bell housing as well. And then get an adapter and put a T5 in here and a S10 4-wheel drive rear end and a drive shaft and a new clutch and upper radiator hose. Get all the radiator hose, then convert it to 12 bolt with an alternator. Anyway, it's sandwich time. It's after 5 on a Saturday, so I think I'm gonna shut her down, let things cool down a bit, you know, go on fire watch with a Busch Light lime, and we'll get back at this thing maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. I don't know, but definitely ruined a 216 today. Or we made it better. The car's better, because it doesn't work anymore. You told me to do it. You told me to do it. Let's throw a battery in this 4-cylinder, see if we can't get it turning over before we go ahead and throw a head on there and add some more restriction to this starter. So here we go. This week's battery sponsor is Grump's Garage. You too can be a battery sponsor at mortske.com. This old DT78 is a little bit tight in there. I got some new battery cables on here. I got the loser switch hooked up, probably hooked up wrong. Yes, this is a 12-volt battery. Yes, this is a 6-volt system. Yes, it will work just fine. Probably. Ooh, she hits hard, but she turns over. It's not happy about it. Ooh. Ooh. So I'm wondering if it's the bell housing being cracked, the starter being bad, the 6-volt starter being on 12 volts, or maybe a combination of all of the above, but that starter is not happy. It also might be the fact that we were not very nice on the teeth on the ring gear. Cables aren't real hot. Maybe that's why they parked it, was for a bad starter, who knows? Never heard one sound like that. You can definitely hear it when it gets to the bad spot on the teeth and the ring gear though. I guess if the clutch works, we can always pull it around the yard and see if it'll start that way. Good enough for me, let's throw the head back on. I don't have any help, so my back is gonna take the brunt of this. Oh! Oh, guess what? We forgot to put the gasket there. Dang it! Maybe we can just get this in place and slip the gasket in later. I mean, do we really need a head gasket? Kind of like, do we need all 6 pistons? Okay, so I think we gotta pull that head back over there. Or partially at least, without trying to poke it through the radiator. Odds are I put that in the wrong way. Now we're gonna lift this back up there. Oh, that head gasket, yeah, right. Not happening. Well, I can either get the head gasket lined up or the head. I can't get both lined up with the block. This is definitely one of those Don't try this at home, kids videos. Well, I think most of them started. Of course, that back one doesn't want to start for some reason. There it went. Maybe? Oh yeah. No need to torque these head bolts since we're running a used head gasket. Got a few push rods in. No need to put push rods in cylinders 2 and 5. You guys already knew that though. And the fun part, getting all these rocker shafts and push rods and everything else lined up in one shot.
One eternity later.
All right, I think we can tighten those down. Cool, let's see if it turns over now that we gotta turn a valve train. Nope, sure doesn't. I bet we don't have a wire hooked up somewhere though. Sure enough. This car was in gear the whole time. Let's take it out of gear. I bet the starter will like not having to turn the differential. You're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Things are gonna be okay.
Let's lift it up in the air, bolt the oil pan back on, bolt the steering back together, and get that snugged up so that we can try to start this thing. Oil pan's back on, steering's hooked up, valve cover's on, we hooked up our vacuum lines. Oh, we should probably plug that one. And we left the fuel line off because we're probably not gonna have a working fuel pump or pull from the tank. Water pump, all that stuff. We're just trying to get this thing to run. That being said, I got the spark plugs cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and pop the distributor cap off, give her the old Mortske flick, and run a jumper wire from the battery to the coil. We'll see if we can't get this thing to give us a little spark. And then after that, I think we're gonna hook Bernie up to it. We're gonna drag her around the country block for a few miles. Hopefully get some compression back into this thing by loosening up the piston rings, and then we'll be able to crank this thing over and maybe she'll fire up for us. Also, pulling it behind Bernie is a good idea because Bernie needs a little exercise. And you guys heard the starter here, so let's try to save on that thing as much as we can. Why does that distributor cap not want to come up? Good grief. Oh, got her. Looks good inside. She's a Delco, made in the USA. Give the old points to the Mortske flick. You can get your Mortske flick device magnetic screwdriver at mortske.com. Six-volt coils love 12 volts. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. They may only like it for a short period of time and then they'll probably explode them. Here goes nothing. So bad. When I was down there putting the oil pan on, yeah, I could see why the starter's doing that. Between the ring gear and the cracked bell housing, it's not looking good. All right, let's see if we got spark coming out of the coil now. Come on, starter, you got this. Ah, yeah, how about that? Let's put some spark plugs in it and just drag it around the block with Bernie. It'll make us feel good about ourselves. Because obviously that starter's not willing to be a team player. Duff, get out of that 57. We got Bernie hooked up. Let's go for a ride. Got a fresh batch of coffee and some GoPros, because you know they're gonna die on us. Should we go cruising around in Bernie? Yeah, you love Bernie. Load up. You follow me. Probably better put it in gear, huh? Don't worry, I put oil in it. Made her back. Let's clear out some room in the shop and get this thing back inside and see if we can't get her to fire up. You gonna grab the hot sauce? No? Okay. Oh, we must be making oil pressure. It's puking some oil out. Yeah, chase the critters out. Let's see if it turns over any better now after putting a few miles on it behind Bernie. I'm betting it doesn't. It does, but it still sounds terrible. Here goes nothing. A little shot of the old hot sauce. Slingshot engaged.
Slingshot engaged.
The starting mechanism has left the chat. All right, I think that's we're just gonna call this thing dead. We got two pistons that aren't going up and down. It's a Babbitt 216, so it's not the desirable engine. You want a 235 with insert bearings. The bell housing is wasted. My fault. Live and learn. Don't get too crazy prying on the ring gear on a 6-cylinder 216 or 235 because it'll crack the ears on it. We blew out the engine mounts. It needs pretty much everything. You know what it needs? A new owner. Price and availability in the video description. We're going to sell this one super cheap. It's actually a really solid car. It's got a ding in the left front fender, and then the beauty ring is missing on that. It's got the mismatched door, but I do believe the correct door is in the back. Allegedly, there's a Turbo 350 in the trunk. It needs interior, but the floors are probably the best I've ever seen. It's got a few dings. The glass is delaminating, but these cars are pretty cool cars, and you can get into the hobby for pretty cheap in one of those. If I owned this car, what I would do, I'd go through the brakes, fuel system, all that stuff. Get a 235 out of a 55 to 62 Chevrolet, which, to the right buyer, I'll probably throw it in there. I got a 62 Chevy out back that we had running and a 59 Chevy that we had running. And they both ran okay-ish. But anyway, I'd probably go through one of those, maybe throw some rings, check the bearings, throw a water pump on it, go through the carb kit, starter, throw a clutch in it, new engine mounts, radiator hoses, belts, all that stuff. Throw that in there, and then just enjoy this thing. Maybe lower it a little bit, throw some new tires on it, and you'd have yourself a pretty cheap cruiser. You could probably have this thing on the road for, by the time you did exhaust, you could probably have it on the road for $3-4 grand. That being said, you could probably buy a really nice one of these cars for $6,000-8,000. So, yeah. But this just ain't for me. It's a 4-door sedan. I do like the fleet lines, the 4-door fleet lines, coupes, convertibles. They just don't really do it for me, especially sedans, but fleet lines, they're my favorite 1950 Chevrolets. So I think we're just gonna call her here on the engine. Maybe we'll try a little Comet wash on one of the fenders, see how this thing cleans up. But we gave it a whirl. I've never had a piston that would not move, much less with that giant air hammer. So that was fun. Like I said, we learned a lot. Don't pry on the ears of the ring gear and the bell housing on a 216. Yeah, just, yeah, I just don't want to pull the starter off. All right, let's clean up the fender and let's find a new home for this thing. Hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com if you want to own this thing. It's not a bad car. It is a bad one. Well, we did get a nice cushion air tire by Atlas out of the back. A couple of hubcaps. Found that missing. Ring for the headlights, drag link that is not for this car, fan that's not for this car, and the door in matching color that's schmucked up. If you're a real good body guy, you could straighten that out. That's pretty interesting. This car was light green and dark green. Interesting color combo. I guess I don't know why I never really noticed that before. But it did find a spare transmission in the back, so does it need a transmission? The next owner will find out. If it does, it comes with the car. Also, I'll leave the mouse house in there. Here we go. We'll sprinkle the Comet. Red Scotch Brite and some hot water. and a little bit of elbow grease. Dang, that kind of makes me want to keep going. See all that rusty water running out of there. Oh yeah, she's even got a little shine left in it. The paint's getting pretty thin, especially on these top sides, so you're gonna burn through that real quick, but you could probably even polish that back a little bit, but again, you're gonna burn right through it to the primer. Well, we're kind of out of time for this week, and my shoulder hurts, so I think that's about as far as we're gonna take the old Comet washing. That, and I got better things to wash around here than 1950 Chevy four-door sedans. Get her out in the sunlight. Yeah, that quarter panel looks pretty good, especially when you compare it to the rest of the car. Got rid of all those little rust spots on there. Duff even insisted that I put the hubcaps on it. So this wheel had the clips, and so did the left rear. Looks a lot better with hubcaps, don't it? And tires that hold air. There you have it, folks. We attempted to get a 1950 Chevrolet four-door deluxe running for the first time in 47 years. This thing was sitting inside an old gymnasium, really close to where I lived. That's right, not a barn find. This one was a gymnasium find. If you want to own this thing, price and availability in the video description. This thing's going to be cheap. It's got to go away. I got no desire to keep it because I got 58 Chevy wagons and Challengers and 59 Buicks and Mustangs and 55 Chevys to work on. So if you want to get into the automotive collector, hot rod, lowrider, custom collector car hobby, hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com. This is about as cheap as you're going to get into it. So yeah, price and availability in the video description. This thing we tried, unfortunately, the old 216. That was the stuckest I've ever seen an engine. I've never had a piston that we couldn't get loose. Well, maybe, but anyway, the air hammer didn't do it. It's just, it needs an upgrade, and that's what it's telling us. So you can't win them all, unfortunately. We gave it a valiant effort, but you just got to know when to throw into the towel. And this thing's just begging for an LS or a small block or a 235 with split manifolds. I do like 235s. White Lightning's got a 235. We've been rocking that thing for years. We got a 56 Chevy with a 235. I've got a pile of them over the years. So anyway, appreciate you watching. Go check out the merch. We got flannels. We got mechanic shirts. We got Hawaiian Floyd cotter pin shirts. We got ball caps. We even got beanies. It's getting a little chilly in the morning. We got t-shirts. We got crew necks. We got hoodies. We got banners. We got magnetic can koozies. We got super scrapers. Get them while they're hot. Head on over to mortske.com. Support the channel there, or you can watch us here, like, share, comment. Appreciate all of you. You can go help us out on Patreon. But remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. It's always fun dragging them out of barns. Sometimes they kick your butt though. So, all right. Better luck next time. On to the next one.
I had a 4-cylinder Ellis Chalmers, and it was stuck one cylinder, gotten water in it, because they didn't put nothing over the exhaust. Yeah. Pipe. And it seized that up, and then I took a hardwood post after I took the head off. Beat on that sucker, beat on it, beat on it. Finally, we got it broke loose, got it and went down a little ways, about that far down, and then took a wire brush and cleaned her up inside there and cleaned that cylinder up, and then we got her to turn over.